Must go.
All right. Can I get ladies in the room, please? So bring the microphone to the front. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good afternoon, I think. My name is Myrna. I'm a forensics specialist. I've had the privilege of working for government, working outside of government, and now I work as a consultant, and I'm sure Hussein is laughing because he knows there's a place we met. I have a question, slightly, the two issues. He brought up a forensic issue, but my question, I think it's just an issue of reflection. Since the start of the protests, I've been wondering, and when I go into every office, I see the picture of the president. I don't mean any disrespect, but is that also a symbol of, that is compulsory? You understand, like, I wonder why I don't see the picture, a framed beautiful picture of the Constitution of Kenya, of the preamble signed by the Kibaki. I mean, that is what we give the president to uphold. That is his custodianship in terms of mandate when you are a president. So I think we have to do away with the frills, with that kind of, you know, self-aggrandizement, idolatry somewhat, because it's also, you know, it's behavior modification. You keep seeing this image, and instead of seeing the Constitution, instead of seeing the rules by which we want to govern ourselves as a society, we see a person. And so none of us can get away with seeing this person, either at national government level, offices, public offices, private sector offices, county governments. I think it's time for us to put the symbols of power by the people where they should be, and the symbols that need to be transitioned out, as my dear comrade has said, you know, is then move towards what's the ideology of this revolution. I would say we need accountable governance. We don't just need governance, we have governance. We try to use elections to eliminate people. You know, I would say this, I mean, eliminate them out of the competition. Elections have been used to vote people out, but we don't vote in the person we want, because we don't see the person we want. We're just left with two choices, and we choose the lesser, you know, I don't want to say it. Someone said the other day that Mababas wa Eve, you know. So, you know, we can't do that anymore. And I mean, when I think about all these things, I'm just like, this country is a beautiful country. We have, with everything that has happened, we are here. We are a regional power, we are respected, and we need to move forward from that. But we are now stuck because there is no accountable governance mechanisms in every agency of government, parastatals, sagas, you know, and our priorities are just simply upside down, and our foreign policy is dictated not by us, but by others. And I'm like, we cannot continue like that. We don't want to be the princes that are being ruled by fools. I worked in government for many years. Merit is secondary or tertiary to networks and connections. You cannot change the system from the inside. I tried. I was in government for more than 11 years. You cannot climb. In all those years, I never saw a budget. We were never told, write a budget. You don't prepare for results. What is a planning for results process, or what they would call the equivalent performance contracting? And so it's hard to even appraise people. When people come and say, okay, what have you done? Where is your appraisal? You know, there's no appraisal, right? So I think the ideology should be accountable governance, and if we want justice and we want independent investigations, when I say forensic, say evidence management. Forensic. Evidence management. Who is in charge of evidence management in this country? You cannot have the potential perpetrator be the same person as the investigator. And right now, the National Forensic Lab is in the hand of the National Police Service.
All right.
So you cannot investigate crime and conduct the scientific analysis of that evidence.
Okay.
So half the evidence is sitting with families, and we are here, outside the system, and half the evidence is inside the system.
Thank you very much. I have decisions to make. I have many people on space, and I have many people here. And I have audience here. Do I have a lady? I'll come back. Don't worry. We're here. I'll come back. Let me go to space, get one comment, because they're also participating and they want to be here. Daniel, if you can make your comments in a minute or less. Do we have Daniel? Okay, so we'll come back. But let me just get quick reactions to this so to move the conversation forward. Start with you, Irungu. I'm told Daniel is here. Daniel, can you hear us? Please make your comment. Yes.
Thank you so much. So I want to go one step back and look at the Constitution. So when we inaugurated the Constitution, what we did was that we changed who has power. We clarified that, we the people, right? And what's happening now and what you're seeing in this movement, we want to now define and clarify what power does, because now it's clear who has the power, we the people. And going forward, this movement continues to clarify, what power does. Now, what we need to do going forward, I think, this is my opinion, is that we need to make being in public or being in public office so undesirable for somebody who doesn't like to be made accountable. So undesirable such that the only people who get attracted to those offices are people who are open and are willing to account. And that's the biggest problem that we have with corruption. And that's the biggest problem that we have with the police and so on and so forth. Now, one question before I go, and this is a question to the panel. I'd like to understand, we are the children of Kibaki. We came, this generation millennials and Generation Z. We came with a free education, and I said this in my TED talk a few years back, that we have had a 360-degree Kenyan experience. Unlike our parents, we have the full consciousness of feeling Kenyan. Many of us don't even speak our mother tongue, or our primary languages are national languages. We have lived everywhere in the country, and we have a full 360-degree Kenyan experience. With also digital media, it has culminated with this consciousness of political consciousness. Now the question is, how can we, going forward, manage this movement? We know that part of the reason why we are seeing many changes is also because we have a debt issue. And the cancelling of the financial bill, and also we've seen that Moody's has also downgraded our credit rating, and we will have a problem with money. And usually when there's austerity and a problem with money, the regime might use that as an excuse to bring some sort of social injustice by denying services to the people who are most needy with the excuse that we don't have money, right? And some reforms can be difficult to push through because the president will say we don't have money. So how are we going to continue making the government accountable, but also waking up the debt issue and managing our country